Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining us from the Better Business Bureau here in Southern Wisconsin. Well, they're everywhere, but our friend Tiffany from Southern Wisconsin, she's here. She's here to help us. How are you doing first, Tiffany?
I'm great. Thanks for having me today.
Hey, thanks for being back. And today we're going to be talking about stock trading apps, what you need to know before you trade. And I think a lot of people are getting into this now more than ever. I mean, I can remember the first initial commercials years ago where it was like actually putting it in your hands and doing something. Now it's like everybody's got a handle on it. So tell us what we're going to talk about today.
Stock trading apps have made buying and selling stocks easier than ever. And we all know some of the big names that are out there: Robinhood, E-Trade, TD Ameritrade, the list goes on. But before you use them, we want you to educate yourself because there's a lot to know before you start playing the stock market. And it may be fun to invest a little bit of money and play with a buddy. But before you do that, you need to know exactly what you're getting into so you don't make any costly mistakes.
What would be some of the things that help get a better knowledge of investing on the stock market?
First of all, you can go ahead and learn more about the stock market at investor.gov. That's investor.gov. You also want to pick your trading app carefully. Do your research on that. Your trading app is going to serve as your broker. So you want to make sure that you're using a legitimate platform. There's a lot of illegitimate platforms out there. You want to make sure that you're familiar with the terms and conditions to that app too before you go ahead and start trading. Are you familiar with how the stock market works? It's super important. You don't want to get fined. You don't want to get restricted from using the apps because you made an innocent mistake. You want to make sure that you fully know how to use that app before you even get started.
What would you say for choosing a company? You know, I'm sure there's a bazillion companies out there that are offering these trading apps, but what should we look for in a company when we're choosing the right app for us?
Compare the apps side by side, compare the fees, the minimums, the stock analysis tools, and the educational offerings. There are some apps out there that'll offer you educational opportunities more than other apps. So if you're not real familiar with the stock market, you want to learn more, there's seminars, there's webinars. That's something that may be of interest to you. So look for those types of opportunities within the stock trading app.
All right, next one, and this seems like a Vegas term too, set a budget.
Set a budget and don't lose any more money than you can afford to lose. Similar to gambling, going to a casino, going to Las Vegas, only invest the amount of money that you can afford to lose. And before you go ahead and move on to bigger and better things, make sure that you're experienced and you're proficient with trading so you don't get caught in anything that will suck your money.
Absolutely, and understand. You've already kind of mentioned it, but understanding the rules of trading and stuff, so you don't get penalized, is so important on this. Know how to trade. Trading will affect your taxes. I wouldn't have even thought of this necessarily, but this is very important.
Yes, know how to trade. So if you purchase a stock and you sell it less than a year, you may be subject to capital gains taxes. You always want to work with the person who prepares your taxes to make sure that you're not doing anything to negatively affect your income at the end of the year.
Yeah, really important. Definitely ask if you got an accountant for your doing your tax, whatever. You may want to ask them before you get started in that for sure. This next one too. Getting some hot tips from somebody. Oh, you got to buy into this one.
The hot tips. So there's sponsored ads that'll show up, and those are designed. Sometimes they're legitimate. Other times there are scammers who purchase that advertising to lure you into a scam. So be very wary if you're going to participate in the sponsored tips, the hot tips. Watch out for scammers who are trying to get in touch with your money on these platforms.
And as investing, you keep investing in the learning part of this as well as recommendation from BBB.
It's always about continuing education, regardless of where we work. If we're playing with our money, the more you know, the smarter you're going to be. So invest in those educational opportunities that come along with the app.
And practice before you start. Maybe it's not a bad idea.
This is a great opportunity to try out the stock market. There's virtual trading platforms where you can play along and not have to invest anything because you're playing with virtual stocks. So if you're a newbie at the stock market, you're kind of apprehensive about entering into it, losing your hard-earned money, go ahead and play with those virtual stocks until you're comfortable enough investing your real money.
All right, Tiffany, great information. If people want to learn more about the information you shared with us today, where can they find that?
Head on over to bbb.org.
Tiffany, thank you so very much for the great tips. I'm ready to hit the stock market.
Me too. Thanks.
All right, we'll take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Pittsburgh.